Greetings and welcome everybody to the Beers.
Wait, who's that? I don't know that voice. I'm joking with you.
Oh, okay. So I guess I haven't been here a while. Hi, my name is Irish O'Leary.
I'm joking with
I'm
you.
auditioning for the show. This is my intro. Greetings and welcome everyone to the Beers and Bodyslams podcast. Sitting across from me, I've been out of the practice. Sorry. Sitting across from me is the man who is not even on the naughty list. He's just tattooed on Santa's arm. Naughty.
This is his arm.
Mr. Fluffy.
And sitting across from me, he is always the man I'm happy to see at my door. Irish.
Thanks. Oh,
See, I gave you a nice one.
that was a nice one.
I know.
Usually you crap all over me.
I
I
know.
get the crappy one.
Well, that was your Christmas present. I gave you a nice one.
I
Don't
appreciate
expect
that.
it again.
I appreciate that. Do you know the end of the joke? Welcome to Jamaica. Have a nice day.
No.
Okay, I'll tell you after.
All right.
Anyway, we've got a great show for you. Well, let me put it to you this way.
We've got a show.
We have a better show for you than Raw and Smackdown combined.
That's right.
Anyway, this is our last show for the year, right?
Yeah, this is it.
Yep, this is it. Last show for the year. The downside is there's a scheduling conflict, and our good friend, good old JB, couldn't be with us. So we're going back old school. It's just me and Fluffy.
That's right.
Keeping it real. And we're going to talk about Raw, SmackDown, and a few other things. Plus, we have a very good beer that we're going to talk about from some good friends. We're going to get into that and so much more when we come right back.
Awesome!
This is the Beers and Bodyslams podcast
I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
with your host, Mr. Fluffy,
Hello, ladies.
good old JB,
Booty-O's! They make sure you ain't booty.
and the Irish O'Leary.
There's only one word to describe you, and I'm gonna spell it out for you. A-A-W-S-T!
This is the only podcast bringing you craft beer and pro wrestling that really matters.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, E-Generation X proudly brings to you its WWF Tag Team Champions of the World! The Road Dogg, Jesse James, the Badass Billy Gunn, the new.
And that's the bottom line, the Stone Cold Central.
All right, Fluff, why don't you tell them what we are drinking?
We are drinking from Tailgate Beer out of Nashville, Tennessee. We are drinking their peanut butter milk stout.
Yeah.
This is really good, and they do something unique on a can I've never seen before. They list their hops and their malt they use on the bottom of the can.
Yeah.
And especially as a person that's just getting into home brewing, I'm looking at this going, I could use some of those. Like, I'm literally looking at this going, this is kind of interesting.
Right.
This is a really good beer. You brought this beer this week. You said it was a trade from a friend.
Yeah, our good friend Aljon from Pro Wrestling Cast and his lovely wife Kristen. We trade beers periodically. They're beer people. I'm beer people, so we trade beers. So they came down recently to visit the Wally World, and they brought a few beers. One we promised that we would crack for Christmas, and we did, and it was amazing. And then they brought me a 6-pack of this. So I traded them another beer plus my next to last snow from Funky Bruta.
It's worth it, though. This is really good.
It worked out real well.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was really good. This is one of my favorite beers. We did a get-together around Labor Day, and they brought a couple of 6-packs of this, and I hoarded every beer I could get my hands on.
This is another good dessert beer. Like, you couldn't drink this with, like, a main course, something like that, because the peanut butter just ruined everything. But this would be good with, like, chocolate cake or
Vanilla ice cream,
or
yeah.
vanilla ice cream or something like that. Plus, it's got a great can. It's a pickup truck with a cow looking like he's drunk on peanut butter.
Yeah, come on.
I love that idea. So thank you so much to Tailgate Beer, which I love that name. That is a great name for a brewery, Tailgate Beer.
Especially out of Nashville.
Yeah.
You know, it's nice. I just came from the South, so you probably have a little bit more accent when I talk. But yeah, it was great. It's a great beer and good people up there. We're planning a trip next year to spend some time in Nashville.
Cool.
I'm pretty sure we're going to go there.
There you go. There you go.
Taking orders now, people. Taking orders now.
So you've been gone for a while, so we're going to jump into it as normal. We're going to talk about Raw, unless there's something you want to talk about on the top. I know we've had a lot, between Dean's injury and God, that's just craziness.
I feel bad for Dean, man. That's 9 months.
I think the Shield is now cursed. Because think about it.
Yeah.
They got together, and then Roman got this mysterious infection that really was never really explained. Nothing against him, but and other guys got it too. But there was this weird staph or meningitis.
Really affected Roman.
And then he came back, and now Dean's out. So it's like, is the curse of the Shield on? Like, it seems weird that when Dean comes back, does that mean Seth's out? He's going to get injured? It's weird.
I would blow his knee again.
Oh my God. So, but yeah, it's good. We had holiday shows. Raw for the first time ever was live on Christmas Day.
Yay.
Which I didn't realize it until they said it. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. But they've always done, when it has fallen on Christmas before, they've always done either pre-taped,
right,
which I know they've done before, or they've done package shows.
Right.
So I didn't realize this is the first time they've ever been live. So that was interesting. And they didn't really heavily Christmas theme, which I like it. Like every match wasn't Santa something, which I was happy with because I was worried about that.
Yeah.
But we got to start off with Cena. Came back, the master free agent.
Yay.
Is about the best way I can put him out there.
Merry Christmas, people. Here's John Cena.
But then we got him doing his facial. He is so dated looking when he's in the ring now and he's doing his promos and his facial expressions.
Right.
Like he is so over the top. I don't know if it's because he's gotten older and he thinks he has to, but he looks like he belongs in the 80s cartoon era now.
Well, the problem that we have now is because we're dealing with TV, and I think that he's really, he's playing to the audience
and high def
in the crowd, and we're high def, so his reactions, you instinctively think you're going to hear, oh, whoop,
yep,
zoinks,
yeah, oh, it's so bad.
Hey guys, why are you coming out here talking to me like that? Oh. Me and Scoob are just going to go back and do some Scooby snacks. But
then the savior of the bit, Elias.
Oh my gosh.
Comes out.
Turning into quite the little heel.
My thing is he just needs that one breakout feud. Like I feel like he's right there. He just needs that opponent to get him over, whether it's winning the Intercontinental title or just having maybe even a feud with Cena if Cena was around more where he could get over Cena and get to that next level because he is so good. And in a brilliant, witty writing moment, they came up with the WWE stands for Walk with Elias.
Finally, we said that months ago.
It was awesome.
We came up with that months ago.
It was
Thank
awesome.
you very much.
I know, it's great.
So here's, I guess, Jimmy Jacobs leaves, and then everybody's listening to the Beers and Bodyslams podcast for writing tips now.
I loved it.
You can expect an invoice for royalties here, kids.
I loved how Cena called him a jerk for playing the, Chicago song.
Yeah.
They actually, and I was actually impressed that, and Elias may have gotten yelled at in the back for this one, but he talked about CM Punk.
I know, that was the thing. I saw that he's acknowledging CM Punk. I was like,
oh, don't do that.
Are you not supposed to do that?
I don't think
supposed to do that.
Because originally when they started chanting, they kind of tried to talk over it, and then got louder, and he sort of acknowledged it, and I'm like, don't. But then a great sucker punch from Elias, like just out of nowhere, just laid Cena out.
Out of nowhere.
Vintage
Elias.
But then we had the match, and of course, Cena goes over. But Elias looked good. Elias looked really good. He kept up with Cena. He had his moments. You knew Cena was going to win. There was no way Cena was losing.
Of course, because Cena shows up and picks up a shovel, and his goal is to bury everybody. So, who betted in Cena?
Canyon. So we had, on both shows, we had a really interesting thing. Both shows, the first hour were commercial free.
I love that. I thought that was great.
It was great, but
they struggled with it.
Especially during the Cena Elias match. You could tell that was supposed to be broken up into segments, and you could see the parts where it sort of slowed down for a minute, and you're like, oh, this is where the commercial break's supposed to be. And then it picked back up again. So it's almost like the show was written, and then they were told, oh, by the way, we're going to give you an hour commercial free. And they went, okay, well, we'll just work around it. Because they were struggling on both shows to fill that hour with no break at all. So
they're so used to having so little wrestling on the show that when you expose the fact that you're missing 20 minutes worth of commercials.
Yeah. Well, like 10, 15 minutes. Yeah. It's a lot.
Well, yeah. 15 minutes, maybe 50, 60 minutes back.
Yeah, I think it's like that, something like that.
It's just goes to show the rut that they're kind of in. I mean, they're just in a little bit of a rut. And I listened to the Jimmy Jacobs. I want to say it's Jimmy Jacobs. I could be wrong, but I listened to the show, the Jericho podcast.
Yeah, with him.
He was talking to the Jimmy Jacobs.
Yep, it was good.
But it's really fascinating to hear how they write. And it really is a cluster from the moment that they start to the moment they end. So the fact that we're seeing that the drag of time, it goes to show you how, they're just stuck and they can't help themselves.
Oh, yeah.
Because as wrestling fans, we're thinking, commercial free, we might actually see more wrestling.
Oh yeah.
And no, we did not.
No, we
saw
did
more
not.
Talking because that's what's important in TV. Talking.
Yeah, it was bad.
It's like it's a podcast or something.
So then we had our Jason Jordan first moment of the evening.
Oh, God help us.
Him and Seth are in the room, and I think this is my most offended moment. Seth jumped on it too, was when Jordan goes, I don't want to step backwards. I don't want to go back to tag team wrestling. Douchebag McGee.
Yeah, that when that happened, I'm like, oh, so you're going to be tag champs. Because that's what they did. Yeah. They did the same thing with Sheamus and Cesaro. I don't want to be a tag team. I want to be on my own.
Yeah, and we'll get to that at the end. We'll save that for the end when I can rant for a minute on that one. But
ooh, great.
Yeah, but it was just bad segment. I'm over this whole thing. I'm really hoping in 2018 it comes out that Jordan is not his son, and this whole thing has been a setup by Jordan, and they've turned him full heel, because he's become a vanilla heel.
He's an Anakin Skywalker bitch of the WWE.
He's boring.
Oh yeah, well, it's Anakin Skywalker. He's just whiny.
Oh.
I don't want to do that. I'm ready. I can do it. I can take on these. I want Rusev. I want this guy.
I want Joe.
I want Joe.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, brother.
Joe would eat you alive.
In the real world, Joe would do things that are unspeakable to you.
Yeah.
I just didn't get it.
Oh, it was horrible.
Didn't like it at all. Yeah. I hate his character, and he's not like a heel, like a heel. He's just
they just hate him. And it was funny.
I just dislike him
when he, we saw Kurt Angle and people were cheering, and the minute he came on camera, you heard the whole crowd boo, and then Seth walked in, they cheered, and they went back to Jordan, they all booed again. Like It's instantaneous.
Right.
It does not matter what happens.
The E has lost their ability to raise heels and faces. And here's why I say that. They've gotten so stuck on this whole tweener thing.
Yeah.
And they're fascinated by tweeners, and they're fascinated by like Kevin Nash cool heels.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, there was no ambiguity. When stinking Jake the Snake came on, you were terrified and you hated him.
Yeah.
You hated him because he was a heel.
Yeah.
You didn't hate him because he was just a whiny douchebag.
Yeah.
The same thing with like the faces, like Roman Reigns. People are actually cheering Roman Reigns now because he's not being crammed down our throats, and he's doing things.
He's gotten better in the ring.
He's gotten better in the ring. He's getting better on the mic. I mean, he has good matches. He's had at least a year full of good matches.
Yeah.
So anybody that's bitching about, well, he can't wrestle. Yeah, he can wrestle.
Yeah.
He can wrestle a damn sight better than John Cena. But they've gotten so far away from cramming him down our throats that the fans are like, oh, okay. In this kind of context, yes, we can cheer him. He's organically become a heel. He's our face. He's back with the Shield. He's doing facey things. He's being a badass.
He turned down the arrogance, and I think that's what keyed him in. And the crowds are liking it. He got rid of the whole "I'm not a guy, I'm not the guy."
Right.
The whole "I'm better." He pulled back on that.
Right.
And it worked.
Right. And so what the E's doing now is like, oh, we'll make you a whiny dick, and people are gonna hate you. Yeah. Because we hate whiny dicks.
Yeah,
we don't hate you because you're a heel. We don't hate you because you're Admiral Akbar. We don't hate you because you're, a natural heel, anti-American or anti this or just a bad guy. You're just a jerk.
Yeah.
And we work with those people.
Yeah,
And there's a problem with that.
Yeah.
You know, we can't hate the guys that we work with, even though they're jerks. You know, we have to tolerate them.
Well, they're playing the whole, you know, he's being favoritism, and it's all, you know, nepotism and all this stuff, and it's annoying.
If they would do that, then that's a real. If they would literally make it obvious that
Angle's
Angle is doing
not,
that,
though.
then we would, that would totally make sense. We would boo Kurt Angle. We would cheer Kurt Angle until Jason Jordan was in the picture. Then we would boo him.
Yeah.
But it's just a mess.
Then we had the Raw debut of Tommy.
Oh, Hideo Itami.
Hideo Itami.
Making the save because Finn Balor can't beat a couple of dumbags.
Yeah, it was, and he's going to be on 205, and he shouldn't be on 205. You weren't here for that. He should be on the main roster. He should not be on 205. But apparently, he really screwed up Brian Kendrick for real. You could see it in the match, and apparently this is legit. He broke his nose and his orbital bone.
Really?
Oh no, they're saying
Austin Aries him.
Yeah, because you watch the match. When I first read, I admit it, I saw that before I watched Raw.
Right.
And I'm like, all right, is this an angle? And then you watched it, and you're like, oh. And then other things have come out that said it's legit. It's not an angle. If you watch it, Kendrick kind of moves forward. It's one of those moves. It's not either guy's fault. Kendrick moves forward as Tommy moves up. And it's just that perfect moment. And you watch his knee literally press his nose up and then slide across his face. I admit, I kind of watched it in slow-mo for that reason. And you watch his knee just pop off his nose and slam into his eye. And you're like, your face is not supposed to
that was during the GTS?
Yeah. Yeah, they go to sleep. Yeah, it was bad.
It looked bad.
Yeah, it was bad.
See, here's the thing. Second time now, we've had heel NXT debut as face on the main roster.
Yeah. Yeah,
they did it with Bobby Roode. Now they're doing it with Hideo Itami.
It doesn't. Yeah,
there's an incongruency there.
Yeah. So, but hopefully Kendrick gets back quick.
Well, if he does what happened with Austin Aries, Kendrick's going to be out for a little bit.
Yeah, and that's the I'm hoping not.
Then he'll ask for his release, and he'll become a vegetarian.
That's right.
Yeah, all that good stuff.
Then we had the Mr. Raj in the back doing Miz carols. I thought it was funny.
That was cute.
Oh, like that in the segment with Kane later when he gave him the DVD or Goldust the DVD. Oh my God, that was funny. See, that's when you're using the Miz Taraj properly.
Right.
You know, yeah, they got destroyed by Strowman later in the show, and you knew that was going to happen. But that was hysterical. Them singing about themselves and about the Miz and keeping the Miz's name alive and just being goofy, I thought was great.
Yeah, it's great. As long as it pays off like it did for Sandow.
I think it's going to. I think they're getting over. I really do. I think they're getting over.
I hope so too. They need it.
Yeah,
Those two guys are good wrestlers.
Yeah, I really do think they're getting over in a good way. So, next up we had Absolution taking on Bayley, Sasha, and Mickie James again. Why? This is like the 5th time they've done this match in some form.
Yeah,
it was slow. It was methodical. Absolution won out of mercy. That's what they're looking about it. When I look at Absolution, and I'll talk about SmackDown. When I look at Absolution, and I look at the Riott Squad, I still see so much more potential in the Riott Squad.
Right.
Because I see the Riott Squad as a group. I see Absolution as Paige and 2 chicks she's eventually going to turn on.
Truth. Yeah, the same way.
And that's exactly how I feel. Whereas the Riott Squad, I see going for a while and them being potential. And even if they break up, they're still there. But
here's my thing with the Riott Squad versus Absolution. Riott Squad has 3 distinct individuals.
Yes.
Riott Squad has Crazy Mary Dobson, whatever her WWE name, she'll still be Crazy Mary to me. And then, not the non-Staten Island, non-Long Island princess, which really is another version of
Liv Tyler. We have I gave her name or 2.
Madison. She's only Madison Rain?
No, God, I gave her name too. I can see her face too. Yeah,
she's the Money in the Bank winner.
Yeah.
Her.
Yeah.
God, we're horrible podcasters. But she hasn't been on TV in a while, so cut us some slack, WWE. And then Ruby Riott, who is just
amazing.
She's pretty good on her own.
Yeah.
So you have 3 distinct individuals that were somewhat around the Crazy Mary Dobson, whatever her WWE name is, wasn't so much. But Liv Tyler, Ruby Riott was actually making some waves in NXT. So then you flip it over and look at Absolution. The MMA girl was around a little bit, but
Sarah Logan.
That's right.
Thanks, Internet.
Thank you, Google. You're the best. Paige's counterparts, on the other hand, did not necessarily have a high presence on NXT
at all.
And then they're playing backstage to Paige. They really needed to find two very strong individuals with Paige because Paige has all that baggage. And since they've had the second round of internet leaks, I know Podcast Kitty. I feel the same way.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't know who they could have put with her, with Paige. I mean, you could have done a flip.
Oh, really?
What are you thinking?
I would have put the two twin magics.
Actually,
Paige.
yeah, you're right. That would have been a good group because then it would have been a good offset.
Aussie and the Brit.
Yeah.
Aussies and the Brit.
That actually would have been good. You're right, because those two can stand up on their own. And that's the thing is the other two don't stand up on their own. Like, I can't even think of one of their names, and the other,
I can't either.
Yeah, Mandy Rose is one, and then there's the MAA.
Yeah. Openly lesbian.
Yeah.
That was her big deal.
Yeah. And beyond that. But you're right. Oh, yeah. Royce and that would have been good together.
Yeah. Putting those two with Paige, that would actually work for several reasons on several layers.
Oh, yeah.
But what do I know? I'm just a podcaster.
But they don't want to take them out of NXT right now.
I don't know if they can take them out of NXT.
Exactly.
Right now.
That's because Ember Moon's has had the same position. She's in that position now too.
Yeah.
Where I'm sure they want to move her up, but they're like,
but keeping the other four in NXT probably would have been better for them.
Liv was ready. Liv had been there for a while, and she had developed to the point I thought she was going to go.
But she's too much like.
And Ruby was ready. Ruby was definitely ready to come up. Ruby Riott was. I think she was ready to come up. So I'm happy with that, though. But
yeah, I get it. That Triple H has got a plot and a plan.
Yeah.
Except once it gets to the main roster, it all goes out the window.
Yeah. So then we had Joe doing a backstage interview in the most awkward moment of the week. I have no remorse for my attack on Dean. That way he can stay home and spend Christmas with the loved ones while he's standing next to Dean's wife, which they sort of alluded to, but didn't allude to. And her facial expressions, if you know what was going on, you understood her facial expressions. If you were less of a mark and you didn't realize that her and Dean were married, you were like, I don't understand it.
Right.
That was was a little hard.
It was dumb.
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
It was dumb. I'm standing right here, Joe.
Yeah, because Dean's home and she's working.
I'm trying to be professional.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
The thing is either play Mark or don't play Mark.
Right.
Either go for it and admit that that's Dean's wife, and you don't have to. It doesn't have to be to affect storyline. It could have just been. She could have walked off. She didn't have to slap him or anything. Like when he said that line, she just looked at him and walked away, and just left Joe. Yeah,
really, Joe.
Yeah,
and then just walked away.
Exactly, and not done anything else.
Yeah.
Just said, really, exactly, or just didn't just say anything. Just literally took the mic and walked away and left Joe standing there.
Or just called him a pig and just walked away.
Yeah,
pig.
It'd been perfect.
Yeah, but they're doing this middle of the road thing. In the middle of anybody will tell you in business, in relationships, middle of the road
will kill you.
Will get you killed. Yeah. And that's what WWE is doing. Everything's middle of the road.
Yeah. Then we had.
God, I sound negative this week. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's we started last week and continue this week. I'm assuming we'll continue for a couple weeks. And if this stays like this, it'll be fun.
Yay.
Was Heath Slater being toughened up by Rhino by taking on Kane.
Nice.
And Kane just obliterated him and then obliterated Rhino.
Hey, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
What's the over-under on Heath Slater winding up on 205 Live?
I think he's too heavy.
You think?
I don't know. What's his weight?
I don't know. But I started thinking that I'm like, are they figuring out a way to split Rhino off and then Rhino's going to have one more run and then...
Oh, I think Rhino will get one more run before he's done.
And then Heath's going to drop some poundage and go on 205. Because that would just make sense to me.
Yeah, I totally think I could see Rhino getting sort of one last run. He's billed at 216.
Oh,
so
yeah. he could go to
he could easily, because those weights aren't real anyways.
Right.
But he's billed at 216, so he could technically drop 10. And he's a little pudgy anyways. But
he's got kids, man.
He got kids. Then we had another comedy. We had a lot of comedy segments this week.
Feel good, man. It's Christmas. Feel good.
And then we had Curtis Hawkins come out and announce that he's going to break his what was at that point 146 losing streak, now at 147 when he took up, and this is in honor of our good friend JB, the charisma vacuum, Finn Balor.
Holy cats on a hockey stick.
How far has Finn fallen?
Did he accidentally grope somebody backstage?
And the worst thing out is now it's even worse because that Michael Cole says the same thing every time he comes out. The first ever Universal Champion, Finn Balor. And then he goes out there and has not bad matches, but is in these horrible things. Almost like it's an insult. Like basically they're almost slapping him down further.
No, because he says he's the extraordinary man who does extraordinary things.
I understand that, but I don't think it's complimentary. I think it's more of an insult. I really think they're almost going to Finn going, remember how high he used to be? Yeah, now you're taking on Curtis Hawkins in a throwaway match. That's more about him losing than you winning.
When Finn Balor came out, none of us were thinking in a year or a year and a half he's gonna be wrestling Curtis Hawkins.
Yeah. Oh, he should have been wrestling.
Getting two tag teamed on by the Miztourage.
Yeah, bad.
And this was the big Hideo Itami thing. He came out to help Finn, right?
Yeah, and then it went nowhere too.
Of course it didn't. It's WWE. It's Christmas, man. They can't get serious until at least 2 weeks before Royal Rumble.
We also had I don't want to say a return this week, but we have some we haven't seen in the ring in a while. We had Bray Wyatt actually physically in the ring. Even for a moment, we had him in the ring. He got his full entrance. He came out. I assumed he was going to wrestle somebody.
Yeah.
But apparently not, because he decided that he was going to get attacked by Woken.
Yes. Ha.
In the weirdest laughter afterwards. That's all I heard.
This has been the worst. A year.
Go ahead.
A year of the Hardys was nice, and if there had been some type of an organic transition into this Woken thing, they're trying so hard to put their own spin on it. The vignettes, I think, have not been good. Matt Hardy's Christmas thing. Did you see his Christmas thing?
Oh yeah,
it was crazy. On the plane of WWE.
Oh my god.
I'm like, okay, let him do his own shtick and let him do it. Just let him, Vince, if you're listening, buddy. Just let
You're going to give a pep talk to Vince?
Just do it. Just let
him go.
Let your character go. I know you want to control everything, but just let him go. Let it go. Let it go. The hell you say, singing on the podcast. Anyway,
that's not singing. That's
they just let Hardy do what Hardy did to make him wantable from TNA.
Yeah, you took him for a reason.
You wanted him you wanted that character, but you want that character with your writing staff. Well, that's a problem. It's a total problem. It's falling flat to me, and it's really breaking my heart.
Yeah. And then we had the other throwaway match of the week, and I'm just going to mention it for this reason. Poor 205 guys. Although it was nice to see those guys in the Miracle on 34th Street fight, then they would have thrown out about 19 other guys out there, like the Miztourage or Finn Balor or somebody else in that match they would have done last year.
I've made the connection with why the 205 Live, we always feel bad about those guys. Had this been 10 years ago, do you know what we would have had?
Bra and panty?
Right, exactly. Yeah. We would have had a
Mrs. Claus match,
Santa's elf, pillow fight, street brawl, bra and panties match.
Yeah, I agree with you.
They've kind of taken over the role of all the stuff that the quote divas used to do. Yeah. All the humiliating stuff. This is these guys.
Yeah.
And I think this is man, I really am doing all the negative
It's okay. It's okay.
It's because JB's not here. JB's not here.
Well,
JB's not here to balance this out.
You haven't done it in a while. You got to vent.
Yeah. I think that Vince is kind of crapping all over these guys because they're all the indie darlings. Yeah. You stop and think about it. Cedric Alexander, Mustafa Ali, I can't remember his last name. Gulag, all the dudes.
Gulag?
Gallagher? Gulag. I say Gulag.
No, I'm just saying Gulag.
Gallagher.
Oh, Gallagher's still waste too. He had such potential.
It's so great. And these guys are super talented. They're just not, I just like them big and, the whole idea of the three-way between Strowman and Lesnar and Kane. Oh my God. I'm shocked that this man can stand up straight.
Yeah.
Anyway, all that being said, I think they've taken over the role of the Diva stuff. They're having to do all the crap. They'll be in bra and panties matches by the end of next year. Easy.
Speaking of the former Diva women, we had another Enzo Nia almost kiss moment in the back. Flirty, 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 flirty. We're 12.
It's interesting. It's very interesting.
And then we have no payoff because Alexa comes out and goes, "I need to talk to you.
I need my bestie.
I need my bestie about the Rumble." And then you expected when Alexa comes out in a little bit and does her promo, there's some connection there.
Nope.
Because Alexa's not going to be in the Rumble.
Maybe this is going to be Alexa Bliss really wants Enzo Amore.
Well,
she wants to keep her friend from it.
Because Alexa and Charlotte seem to be the two people that are going to be exempt from it because they're the champions, and whoever wins it's going to wrestle their champion. So I don't know why she's flipping out about it because she's not going to be in it.
She's not. She has nothing to do with it.
Yeah. So then we had the Intercontinental title match. We had our first of 2 title defenses on the show. We had Joe taking on Roman Reigns. That was actually a good match. Very hard hitting.
Of course.
We had our 50-50 booking.
50-50.
Where you can't have either of them lose. So you have to have one get DQ'd. So Joe wins by DQ because Roman loses cool and flips out and, doesn't listen to the ref and then beats the crap out of Joe.
Which is very in character for Roman Reigns.
Yeah, it was.
Which is not
I know.
in character for Roman Reigns.
No, I know. I don't know. Again, they confuse the character.
Joe's the one that flips out.
Yeah.
Let Joe flip out.
Yeah, Joe should have lost by DQ and just keep beating the crap out of Roman.
Very in character.
Yeah.
See, here's what we're doing. We're pointing out flaws in the writing, knowing that nobody's listening and giving a crap about it. But we can actually probably write better than WWE writers can.
Yeah, because it should have been Joe just loses cool when he tries to pin Roman a couple times and couldn't do it. Especially, when he had when he had the clutch on him. Oh, but thinking of the Coquito clutch. Did you see the one sign on Raw? Okay, do you know what Coquito is? Coquito is a Puerto Rican eggnog.
Yeah, it's awesome. I've had several of them this week.
There was a sign.
Coquito clutch.
There was a Coquito clutch sign during the Joe match.
That's funny.
I almost cried because I got some for Christmas from a friend of mine homemade.
Did you really?
Yeah, and I was like,
don't show me where that is because it's going home with me.
I'm like, holy crap, that's funny. So, but when Roman broke that hold, Joe should have lost his mind and just gone ape shit crazy.
Yeah,
but it was a good hard hitting match. So it was the match we want. I mean, I want to see Joe and Roman go at it. Obviously, we're leading towards that for the Rumble. I'm assuming that's gonna be one of the big Rumble matches.
Right?
Is those two just beating the living schnizzle out of each other? And I could see Joe winning it. Yeah. I could finally see Joe winning his first belt on the main roster. It's time.
Give that boy a belt.
Yeah, let him run with it. Then we had Alexa come out, and we haven't had Alexa do anything significant in about 2 or 3 weeks. She's been involved in the attacks on Absolution coming out, but she hasn't actually done anything. She hasn't wrestled. She hasn't done promos. Right. So finally goes promo. She does her year of Alexa, but then we have Asuka come out and just lay her out.
She's been practicing for months because she actually spoke very well.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not down in Asuka because for 2 reasons. One, it would be, racist, and I'm not racist.
It's her and Shinsuke have the same problem.
And
it's
it
not
would
their
also,
language.
But I'm also not saying that because Asuka could legitimately kick my ass. So, but I'm very, it was really good for her to say, "I'm coming after your belt." I was like, son of a bitch. Yes.
Yeah.
She's speaking well, and if she can keep that up, Vince will feel more comfortable in using her. Podcast Kitty's having his own little wrestling match in a box right now.
Yeah, so I am assuming we're building towards. I really do think if I had to pick right now for the Rumble, Asuka's my pick.
Absolutely.
Asuka's the one I think is going to go over.
Asuka or
who?
Enzo's girlfriend.
Nia? No, I think it's because this is why. I think you have Asuka win. Again, I'm writing in the future.
Yeah.
Whoever wins this gets a shot at WrestleMania. You keep the belt on Alexa through this point into Mania. And you have this nice 2-month buildup of just Asuka going after Alexa ducking her, knowing she's got the shot, but Alexa ducking her, sending Nia at her. Because then you get that middle feud between Asuka and Nia going into WrestleMania. So whatever Roadblock or whatever the WrestleMania
Roadblock.
whatever the Raw pay-per-view before WrestleMania is.
Cockblock 2018.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have Asuka versus Nia, which is a match we want to see anyways. And you have that whole setup. And you could even do it where you could set it up this way. You could do it both ways. You could say it could be, it's not Asuka's opportunity to lose the belt, but if Nia beats Asuka, she's now in the world title match. So it becomes a 3-way. So you could do either way. I mean, there's so many you could do. It could be a fun build-up, and then obviously at WrestleMania, Asuka gets her moment and wins the damn belt. But
yeah, I think so. I would love to see like an old school, Alexa goes to somebody and says, "Look, I don't want Asuka touching me until WrestleMania." Yeah. Why not? Lesnar can do it. Why can't I do it?
Yeah, exactly.
And figuring out a way to weasel her way out of it.
Yeah.
That Asuka can't touch her, like old school wrestling.
Yeah.
You can't touch me until the thing.
Yeah.
So
then we had God damn it. I know, I say it honestly. Jason Jordan and, God.
Anakin Skywalker, whiny
Seth
Anakin
Rollins.
Skywalker and Seth Rollins.
Take on the Bar.
the bar.
The Bar, which was a funny segment in the back with them, the presents.
Yeah.
That was goofy too. And Seth and Jordan win. And Jordan picks up the win too. Not even Seth picks up Jordan picks up the win. Seth looked more shocked than anybody. He looked surprised as hell.
Legitimately shocked.
Yeah, that was weird. Like, I don't know if he was really, if he's that good of an actor, or maybe no one told him the real finish, so he would have that look. Because
Wait, we're gonna win?
because he did have a look on his face like, was this supposed to happen? All right, well, we'll leave with it.
Right.
But why? This makes no sense. Number one, you've beaten down the Bar again.
The bar.
Number two, you've given Jordan something he doesn't deserve, and I don't deserve. It's not ready for yet.
Right.
Like, what do you do with him now? Okay, great. He's in a tag team with Seth Rollins. They're going to lose the belts right away. They're not going to keep them.
Maybe not. Maybe they're gonna keep him for a little while.
Oh God, no.
Is this a disillusionment of the Shield? I mean, I know with Dean being gone for 9 months,
They got to do something.
Is this the Shield is done?
I
Or
think
are they
so.
just going to let the Shield kind of ride around and periodically, Jordan will dress up like the Shield and they'll.
Well, they kind of did that with the Roman thing, but Roman was only out a couple weeks. This is
Right.
9 months.
I know.
So I don't think we're going to hear. I think they'll mention the Shield, but I
Right.
don't think that we're going to
course.
see the Shield for
Yeah,
a while.
I agree.
So
I
all right.
agree.
Before we move on to Smackdown Live, I want to once again thank Tailgate Beer
Yes.
from Nashville, Tennessee,
Mine's gone.
for your peanut butter milk stout. Mine is almost gone.
Mine is totally gone. I could not hold back.
good. Yeah, I like it a lot. It's 5.8% too. It's not bad. That's not bad at all. I like it.
Nope. And we're day drinking today.
And we're
so.
day drinking. All right. So on to Smackdown Live.
The post Christmas Smackdown.
Yeah. The good thing is I agree with the idea that I don't know, obviously the crew was away from their family, but they didn't make them work double time because they had this show in the same arena 2 nights in a row. So it
Nice.
made it a little bit easier. They were both in Chicago. They're both the same arena. So I'm sure that meant that someone could do some stuff that night and not have to worry about it. Or,
Like sleep.
yeah, so that was at least, so all right. So Daniel Bryan starts the show coming out and announcing that, this is weird, Dolph did not technically give up the title, as in he said he was giving it up, but that since he walked away, he voluntarily vacated the title. They said the word voluntarily, which means to me we're going to lead up to a future storyline down where Dolph's going to come back and say, I never really gave it up. I just left it in the ring. I never said I wasn't champion anymore.
Yeah, I just left it there for a little bit.
I just left it there, and so that was weird. But we have this great moment, and then they ruin it. Completely ruin it.
Shocker.
Because you have Daniel out there talking about this title, and when I'm expecting to announce this tournament and all this stuff, and then Benjamin and Gamble come out, and Rusev and English come out, and New Day come out, all want to shout at Usos, and I'm going, no. Let's focus on one title at a time. Let's focus on this U.S. title thing, and then we can do something else later with you guys. But they poo-pooed over the entire U.S. title thing. I don't know why, but they went, nope, we're not talking about that anymore. Leads to a 3-way match between Gable and Benjamin, Rusev and English, and the New Day. God, I do love that team of Rusev and English. They are developing very quickly as a good team.
Yeah, they quickly need to find names for these guys. Meaning the problem you just had: Benjamin and Gable, Rusev and English, and the Bar.
The Bar,
or not the Bar.
New
not
Day.
the Bar. It's
New
Day.
New Day.
So, they need a name.
Yeah.
The Absolution and Riott Squad are the first, actual legitimate stables that we've had since maybe they tried that really crappy thing with the welcoming committee, which we'll get to later.
Get to it later. But yeah, I agree with you. Benjamin and Gable need a name. And Rusev and English, I don't know if Rusev and English, I don't know if they need a name because I don't know if there's something that would work to put them together. Like, at least Benjamin and English, and Gable, I could think of a few names possibly that you come up with.
The Conquistadors.
That'd be funny. Oh, God. But you're right. It was a good match, though. It was way better than the four-way they had at Clash of Champions. Because, again, we had 3 guys in the ring at a time, and it was just a better controlled
more
match.
room to breathe, easier
good,
to kind of focus on it. It was less chaos, and that's always a little bit better.
One of my favorite moments was when Rusev put the Super Acolyte on Wood and Gable. He had Xavier on top, Gable on the bottom, and gave them both the Acolyte at the same time until Benjamin broke it up. But that was fun to watch for a minute.
Was Rusev Day, wasn't it?
It's always Rusev Day.
Always Rusev Day in my house.
Always Rusev Day. And Benjamin and Gable win. So next week they're going to take on the Usos for the tag team titles.
Good for them.
Good for them. So then we had a weird segment I shouldn't say weird. We had a segment in the back with Shane and Daniel Bryan. Shane comes in saying that he was upset at Daniel for saying that he's becoming his father and how his father is a great business person and built sports entertainment to what it was. And if it wasn't for him, then this would have happened.
Yada, yada, yada.
Then they both accuse each other of throwing their weight around. I'm confused by it, though, because I can't figure out who I'm supposed to root for. I don't know. Am I supposed to be against Shane? Am I supposed to be against Daniel? I'm confused.
So
I need conflict to make this work, and there is no. There's conflict between the two of them, but there's no clear.
Is the match going to be at Royal Rumble, or is it going to be WrestleMania?
If they were going to let Daniel wrestle, it'll be at WrestleMania. If they were going to let Daniel wrestle again, if they're not going to use a proxy. Because I'm assuming they're going to make Daniel as a proxy in some way. But if they're going to actually let Daniel Bryan in the ring, at least for one more match, they'll save it for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
It'll be Shane versus Daniel for control of SmackDown at WrestleMania to decide the future of that show.
There you go.
And Daniel would go over because Shane's probably on a short-term contract anyways and would go back to whatever he does.
Well, Daniel Bryan's contract is going up this summer, so
it could be too.
That could be what Vince is going to dangle in front of him. Say, hey, look, sign this contract and we'll let you have a match at WrestleMania. Yeah. And then we'll renegotiate and see what it looks like, how that goes over.
So I'm also frustrated with the company because they've moved the fashion files off of SmackDown to WWE.com exclusively.
Try to get those hits, yo.
Which I'm fine with because I can still watch it, but I kind of look forward to watching SmackDown and getting the videos there. Because now they're running clips of the show, then you got to go to WWE.com to run them. And they're not even on the YouTube channel. They're just on the website.
If they're taking that time that they would normally spend in investing it in new characters new wrestling, I would be okay with it. Yeah. But it seems to me they're not. They're they're the same old. They're just, instead of having the top 7 guys in 4 segments, now they're able to do them in 5 or 6 segments.
Yeah. And then we had the Fashion Police get brutally beaten again by the Bludgeon Brothers. I mean, just barbarically beaten. And now they're going to wrestle a 3rd time next week because the Ascension can't keep their mouth shut. I don't get where we're going with this. I don't know. My best friends, our friends are going to take on the Bludgeon Brothers again, and the Fashion Police did not look happy about it.
So the Fashion Police are going to turn on the Ascension?
I'm assuming so at some point.
And so you're going to have 2 tag teams. Let me rephrase this. Let me put this the right way. We're going to have 2 tag teams that, as far as wrestling goes,
nobody cares about.
Wrestle, and there's not going to be a big outcome from it.
Nope. So we had a nice little match between Ruby Riott and Naomi. Very aggressive Ruby Riott. I mean, monsters aggressive. More than I expected her to be. Like, she went out there and pushed Naomi.
She's a breakout star, man. Yeah. She had star written all over her when she came into NXT.
Yeah.
And I'm shocked that she went straight to the main roster like that. But
Right. Then the Riott Squad started to beat down Naomi. Charlotte comes out. You're going, oh, this is the savior. Charlotte gets overwhelmed by the numbers game and gets laid out.
good.
And then we had the weird moment for that match when the heels came out, or the welcome committee, which is Naomi, Lana, Tamina. I think I always mess up her name.
No.
I know. And Carmella all come out and run off the Riott Squad.
So what we're saying, ladies and gentlemen, is we've actually had a Tamina sighting.
Yes, we have.
Jeez, she's almost as elusive as Bigfoot.
Yeah. So we had them come out, chase them off. So I guess we're setting up. Are we? So this is it. We have heel versus heel, or are we setting up for the Riott Squad to turn, or are we setting up for the welcoming community to turn? I don't know.
But then we also had that weirdness with Natalia a couple weeks ago, where she was like, "I'm done with this. I am done."
Yeah, I think what they're really doing though is they mentioned it in the match. It's just setting up conflict for the Rumble, the Women's Royal Rumble match, which I'm hearing now. This is what I'm hearing. I've read it online a couple times. Is they're going to limit it to 15. I want to see 20. I think 20 is a better number.
I think 30 is a better number.
I don't think they'll do 30. I don't think they'll let them go that long, because then this is the problem with 30 is and nothing against the girls doing 30. You already have the guys doing 30. That takes 45 minutes to an hour. If the girls do 30, that's another 45 minutes to an hour. So now you only have 1 hour for the rest of your matches. They're never going to give that much up. They're never going to give
They'll
up.
make Royal Rumble a 4-hour pay-per-view like they've done everyone else.
They could do that too. That was the only way it would work.
Yeah.
But
They'll do 1 hour of crap, and then the female Royal Rumble, another hour of crap,
Yeah.
and then another Royal Rumble.
But I'm hoping it's more than 15.
Or here's a crazy thought. Just cut the Royal Rumble down. Dude, they don't need to be 5 hours. Not everybody needs their own entrance.
Yeah.
Well,
it's not even the easy entrance. Is they do just, it's just long. It is long. I love the Rumble. I really do. It's one of my favorite matches, but there are points in the middle where you're just like, all right, can we just get all the guys out there? Can we start bringing up 2 at a time instead of 1 at a time? There's a point where I'm just like, let's get everybody in the ring. Let's just get everybody out there. But, that's the fun of the Rumble. Next up, we had our first match in the U.S. title tournament. Bobby Roode took on former champion Baron Corbin in the we're disgruntled, so we're going to wrestle each other match of the night.
Yeah.
It was a nice match. It was good. Roode won. My only criticism is the same criticism I haven't for a while is Roode needs to make a decision. He's a face, and he plays with the crowd too much, and it's hurting him. The whole finger thing and the whole playing there. Like if he just popped up and went glorious and he was a heel, it works. Him as a face does not work this way. You can't be an arrogant ass and be a nice guy at the same time, and that's what he's trying to pull off, and it's not going to work.
It's really honestly a matter of when you pull the trigger. Randy Orton doesn't wrestle in the middle of the match and then go get on the ring and do his little Randy pose.
Yeah,
do the glorious on the front end when you're doing your entrance, and at the end of the, after you beat the guy, pop up and go glorious.
Yeah, not in the middle of the match.
Not in the middle of the match.
Yeah. And then we had the second match of the evening. We had Jinder Mahal.
7 hours in, second match of the evening.
Second match of the Jinder Mahal taking on, do we call him returning? Do we call him, we thought he was MIA and he was on a milk carton? The Perfect 10, Ty Dillinger. Holy shit, he's still on the roster.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the same show, we've had a Tamina Snuka sighting and a Ty Dillinger sighting.
Yeah, holy shit.
So finally, somebody in WWE Travel told them both, "Oh, we're going to be in Chicago on this night. Meet us there."
We had a Curtis Hawkins on Raw.
We had a Heath and Rhino sighting.
God,
it's crazy.
It's almost like half the people were off on vacation for Christmas.
Jeez.
And we went, "Who's around?" Hey, he's here.
We even had a John Cena sighting.
Well, we knew that was coming though.
I thought he was going to pop out on SmackDown.
No.
Well, he's the ultimate.
He's the
free
ultimate free
agent.
agent. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, and Jinder won easy. Just mauled over. Just mauled Tyler.
Jinder needs a bra.
Yeah. We had KO and Sammy in the back doing their whole yep thing.
Yep.
I love Sammy just going yep. And then the main event of the evening, the last match of the year.
Yep.
We had KO versus AJ. Scored away the end of the year. It was not their best match of the night.
Nope.
No, their best match of the series. The big moment was when Shane came out, threw Sammy, quote unquote, out of the match. AJ tried to roll up KO. KO reversed it and rolled up AJ for the quick win. And then Sammy ran back to the ring with Shane looking despondent and upset that KO won.
Yep.
Then we had a moment that I'm not sure we're going with. We had AJ walk up. Shane looks at him and goes, "I'm sorry." And AJ just looks at him with disgust and walks away.
That's a callback.
Yeah, I know. And I'm wondering if we're setting up for next year of literally we are going to have Shane turn full heel because the roster is going to turn against. In other words, KO, basically people are going to realize KO is right. And that we're starting to see even the faces are starting to realize it's all about Shane. Because that seems to be the first moment I've seen a quote-unquote face look and go, you did this for you. You did this to hurt Sammy and KO, not for my benefit. And it bit me in the ass. And now KO is beating me.
It's what's best for business.
Yeah, it's best for business. So it's going to be interesting to see where we go. But yeah, I mean, it was holiday shows. I didn't expect a ton, but I was entertained.
Yeah.
More than I thought I would be. So any last words?
No, both okay shows. Not bad. I always want the shows to be better.
Yep.
They could have been worse.
Yeah.
Feel bad for the 205 guys. I hope everybody has had a wonderful 2017. Looking forward to a great 2018.
Yeah.
We're getting ready to start the road to WrestleMania. Should be
that's
interesting.
right.
Everybody stays healthy.
Yeah. So talking about that, I want to do some billboarding for us. Something we don't, do enough.
Billboarding?
Yeah, I want to talk about things that are coming up. We have coming up the second week in January, which will be the 8th. We're going to have our second annual Brewski Awards.
It's the Brewskis, brah.
We're going to have the Brewskis. So we're going to put some categories out there. We'll put them online. We're going to have some fun with it. Me, JB, and Iris are going to pick our winners. And we're going to give out Brewski Awards.
Brewskis. And
then on Monday, this coming up Monday, which will be New Year's Day, we're going to kind of talk about some of the rumors that are floating around with Vince. How he's stretching his hands outside the WWE. Is this a good thing? Does he need to finally give up control? We've talked about this before, but now especially with the rumors of the XFL and all that stuff coming up.
Right.
So make sure you tune in on Monday. I do want to thank Tailgate Beer for your peanut butter milk stout.
Definitely want to thank our friends Aljon and Kristen for hooking us up with that.
That was
Thank
really,
you very much.
really good. When you're ready to put your beer down.
Beer, you're so dumb. You think these two shows were the best shows you've ever seen on live TV.
Make sure you head over to vintagepressing.com. Vintagepressing.com where you can get drink coasters, luggage tags, phone cases, and more.
Make sure you find us over on Facebook, facebook.com/Beers and Body Slams podcast. You can see all of our latest shows. You can see videos of our podcast. You can also find little quirky things we share from time to time.
Yep.
You can also find all of our show archives, blog posts, and various and sundry other things over at Beers and Bodyslams.com.
You can also follow us on the Twitter at Beers Body Slams.
Yep. And
because we forgot the and.
Whoops, I'm sorry. I jumped on that line.
It's okay.
Okay.
No, I was going to do anything goofy this time. I was going to say, we forgot the and.
Good for you. And if you'd like to follow what all of the crew here at Beers and Body Slams are drinking, we do that on the Untapped app. You can download the Untapped app for iPhone and Android. You can follow me as I slowly churn my liver into paste at the Irish O'Leary.
You can follow JB at good old JB. And you can follow me at Mr. Fluffy as I have now crossed 900.
After 1,000, the special You're an Alcoholic theme plays.
Oh, I'm sure it does. There is a special award for 1,000.
Queuing up the band.
It's actually a free trip to Betty Ford. The Untapped they pay for it. They just go.
Just
please,
go. Get fixed. And we'll clear your beer out.
So we'll be back next week as a full group. I said we're gonna have the Brewskis next week. We're gonna talk about the New Year's versions of Raw and SmackDown. We start the road to WrestleMania pretty much next week because I know we're gonna be building up towards the Rumble, but that's the next pay-per-view anyway. So I know a lot's going on with the people entering and stuff like that. As always, make sure you keep your pint glasses full and your body slams stiff.
You've been listening to the Beers and Body Slams podcast. Find us online at beersandbodyslams.com and on Facebook at facebook.com/Beers and Body Slams podcast. Until next time.
Have a nice day.